Part 3. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the Emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 21. As Hao Tenglin clicked on the light and shadow, a picture appeared in front of his eyes, and at the same time, his mood began to change with the change of the picture. And when the light and shadow playback ended, Hao Tenglin still didn't come back to his senses. "Father, what's wrong with you?" Hao Fei asked doubtfully. Hao Tenglin woke up, but ignored Hao Fei. Instead, he hurriedly opened other lights and shadows and watched as if he was possessed. If so, who is this ancient emperor? Just a light and shadow can have such power. After watching all the lights and shadows, Hao Tenglin's eyes were full of shock. Although he only watched it once, he understood something. It was as if he had seized the opportunity to break through to the great master. There was actually a desire to break through the realm. Impulse. "Father, what do you mean? This ancient emperor? This person is definitely not a powerful emperor." Before Hao Fei finished speaking, Hao Tenglin interrupted directly. Hao Fei paused. He was not a powerful emperor? Then why did his cultivation level improve after watching these lights and shadows? Likey, I guessed right, this ancient emperor is at least in the realm of a great venerable, and may even be a heavenly venerable, Hao Tenglin continued. Tianzun. Hao Fei was shocked. His father was a powerful young master at the pinnacle. Even the other party said that this ancient emperor might be a Tianzun. I'm afraid he was inseparable. "Father, is he really the Lord of Heaven?" Hao Fei can't believe it. It is said that the Lord Tian is so powerful that he can create a world with just a flip of his hand. It is said that the Ding Tian world was created by a Lord Tian. Although there is a legend about the Lord Tian in the great world of Ding Tian, but no one has ever seen such a strong man. Until now, everyone thought it was just a legend. But according to what their father said, they seem to have met the Lord Tian. I can't be sure, but this person's light and shadow contain the will of heaven, and every move is in line with heaven. If he is not a heavenly master, he is at least a peak master. Hao Tenglin was silent for a few seconds and said seriously. He was also shocked. Not to mention the Lord Tian, even the Great Lord was rarely seen. He had lived for tens of thousands of years and only saw the Great Lord once from a distance. At least they are all peak sages. Hearing this, Hao Fei shuddered. Let alone the peak sages, he couldn't afford to offend even ordinary great sages. But he thought just now, looking for revenge against such a powerful person, the most important thing is that he was actually blocked by a great venerable powerful man. Doesn't this mean that he has offended the great venerable? By the way, you just said that you offended the ancient emperor, and he blocked you. How? Tenglin turned to look at Hao Fei and asked hurriedly. Hao Fei nodded, and a chill rose in his heart. If this great venerable came to trouble him, wouldn't he be doomed? "You, kneel down for me." Boom. Hao Tenglin's expression changed and he immediately shouted. Hao Fei did not dare to speak and hurriedly knelt on the ground. "Father, what should I do now? If Emperor Huanggu cares about this matter, wouldn't I be dead?" Hao Fei looked at Hao Tenglin and asked. Hao Tenglin took a deep breath. If Hao Fei was not his son, he would have slapped him to death. Ask him what to do? What can he do? If such a strong man comes, don't he said that Hao Fei is dead and their entire Saint Yuan city will be destroyed. Such a strong man probably won't argue with you over such a trivial matter. It's just that you were rude first, and you still need to dispel the unhappiness in the other person's heart. How? Tenglin said and sighed. It seems that the Tianfeng elixir that Chu Luying did not accept is about to be taken out. Thinking about it, Hao Tenglin directly opened the private message. Your Majesty, the ancient emperor, I am Hao Tenglin, the Lord of Shenyuan City. Today, I am rude to you. I offer you a piece of Tianfeng elixir. I hope that you, the senior, can be more generous and let me go. If you need help in the future, Shenyuan City just relying on the orders of seniors. After checking it carefully several times, Hao Tenglin clicked send and at the same time gave away the Tianfeng elixir. I hope this senior can be easy to talk to. Hao Tenglin thought to himself that Hao Fei, who was kneeling on the ground, did not dare to speak. On the other side, Suju was just eating and drinking, leaning lazily on the stone. Ding dong, the Lord of Saint Yuan City, Hao Tenglin, has paid attention to you. Ding dong, the Lord of Saint Yuan City, Hao Tenglin, sent a private message, please check it. Ding dong, the Lord of Saint Yuan City, Hao Tenglin, has given you something as a gift, please check it. 3 consecutive beeps sounded on the mobile phone, and Suju also checked it with curiosity. Hao Tenglin? Could it be that Emperor Hao Fei's father just now? This father is still on the right track. Not only does he apologize, but he also gives him something directly. Suju said with a smile. Originally, he didn't care much about Hao Fei. No matter how bad his attitude was, he was still a genuine emperor. He was just a chi refiner in the foundation building stage, and there was nothing he could do against him. But he didn't expect that he didn't even have it. I took it to heart, but Hao Tenglin sent me a big gift. Since you gave me a chance, what if I don't trick you once? Suju curled her lips and started typing on the keyboard. Qingming reading gift. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Grab a deposit now, event time, April 5th to April 5th. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 22. The city lord joked, as Saint Yuan City is a pillar of the Dingtian world, how dare I provoke it? When I finish my work here, I must go and visit in person to see what confidence the Saint Yuan City has. After Suju sent the message, he ignored it, put down his phone and started packing it up. In Saint Yuan City, Hao Tenglin, who was waiting patiently, looked at the message sent by Suju, and his face immediately turned pale. Father, what happened? Hao Fei, who was still kneeling on the ground, asked doubtfully. It's all your fault. Why did I, Hao Tenglin Yingming raise a son like you? Hao Tenglin gritted his teeth and looked at Hao Fei, wanting to slap him to death. Hao Fei didn't dare to speak, knowing that it must be the ancient emperor who refused to let them go. See for yourself. After a few seconds, Hao Tenglin calmed down and put the chat message in front of Hao Fei. When he saw the message, Hao Fei was also shocked. He didn't expect that the ancient emperor would come in person. On the surface, he said it was a visit, but he knew exactly what he was here for. With the opponent at least as high as the Grand Master, he could destroy their entire Saint Yuan City in a matter of seconds. Father, what should we do now? If he really comes, wouldn't we? Hao Fei's eyes were full of horror, and his heart was filled with regret. Why was he so arrogant at that time, and he actually provoked such a powerful man? Hao Tenglin snorted coldly. Of course he knew that if the ancient emperor really came, the entire Shenyuan city would be razed to the ground, and they would have no way to survive. Now we can only try our best to restore the ancient emperor's impression of us. Although his words were full of dissatisfaction, he did not return our Tianfeng elixir. In other words, this matter can still turn around. Hao Tenglin said and sighed, it seems that we are going to have a lot of bleeding today. Go to the treasure house and get the purple formation disc, Tianfeng immortal pill, polar dragon crystal, I hope they can be useful. Hao Tenglin looked at Hao Fei and said. Father, do you really want to give these things to him? These things are all rare treasures of our Saint Yuan city. If he takes these treasures and is still dissatisfied with us, wouldn't it be a waste? Hao Fei was filled with shock when he heard the names of these things. Every one of these treasures is top-notch. If any one of them is lost, it will shake the entire Dingtian world and stir up countless storms. Today, they are all going to be sent away. And his heart was filled with reluctance. If it is true as you said, these treasures will all belong to him sooner or later, and now he can only do his best and obey fate. It hurts Hao Tenglin to give away these treasures, but there is no other way now. There are really not many things that can make the great venerable and strong man like it. Hao Fei gritted his teeth. Although he was unwilling to do so, he still wanted to give it away. There was no choice but to quickly walk towards the treasure house of Shenyuan City. Before long, Hao Fei came over with a storage ring with more than 10 items inside, each one of which was a top treasure after. Hao Tenglin took the storage ring, he looked at it reluctantly, and finally opened Wanja and gave the storage ring away. Please don't be angry, senior. This matter is indeed the fault of the junior. If the senior offers the treasures in Shenyuan City tonight, I hope the senior can accept it with smile. After writing an article of several hundred words and thinking about it again and again, Hao Tenglin sent the message, feeling filled with anxiety. Suju also received the news quickly. When he saw more than 10 items in the storage ring, his eyes lit up. Polar dragon crystal is made from the essence and blood of the dragon clan. After refining, it will possess the power of the dragon clan. Once the purple formation disk is activated, it can cover a radius of thousands of miles and rain down the purple divine light. The powerful emperor will die if it touches it, and the little venerable will also be seriously injured. The heavenly puppet talisman, once this talisman is in the body, the little venerable will instantly become his own puppet. The effect lasts for 1 stick of incense. After 1 stick of incense, the puppet will die suddenly as the talisman loses its power. Looking at the introduction of each item on the phone, Suju secretly sighed. This Saint Yuan city is really rich. There are so many treasures. Now these treasures are mine. Thinking about it, Suju put away the storage ring and looked at the chat interface. Since she has accepted the things, of course she still has to give the other party some reply. That's it? Suju didn't make a long speech, and just replied with 2 words. Soon, Hao Tenglin, who was waiting there, also replied, there are many seniors, and I admire you. If seniors are useful in the future, juniors will definitely do their best. Looking at this message, Suju smiled slightly. This means that he sold himself and helped him count the money. Putting down the phone, Suju took out the treasure he just got and planned to study it carefully. Roar. But when all these treasures were taken out, a whistle suddenly sounded, and then an illusory figure appeared on the purple dragon sword. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 23. This is, a dragon. On the purple dragon sword, there is a huge beast that is several feet long, has 2 horns on its head, and is covered with purple scales. It is a dragon. It turns out that the dragon's soul has not been eliminated, but has been refined into the purple dragon sword. It seems that when the black tiger was hunted before, it was the dragon in the sword that burst out with power. But fortunately, Suju didn't feel any danger from the dragon's shadow, which meant that the other party had no intention of harming him. What you up to? Suju looked at the phantom of the purple dragon and asked. Roar. The purple dragon phantom roared, but its eyes fell on the polar dragon crystal in Suju's hand. Do you want this? Suju asked, looking at the polar dragon crystal in his hand. The purple dragon shadow nodded, his eyes looking at the polar dragon crystal were full of urgency. There is dragon blood in this polar dragon crystal. It seems that the purple dragon felt it and woke up. Suju thought secretly. Although the polar dragon crystal is a rare treasure, his current strength is too low and he cannot bear the power in it. If he forcibly refines it, he will suffer backlash. But let him give it to Zijiao like this, he also refused to agree. If the other party used the polar dragon crystal to become stronger and had evil thoughts about him, he would not even have room to resist. Roar. Seemingly sensing Suju's doubts, the purple dragon roared again, and at the same time, talismans lit up on the purple dragon sword. Swish. The next second, these talismans gathered together to form a mark. Before Suju could react, the mark fell into the center of his eyebrows. Boom. Suddenly, there were roars in Suju's mind, and at the same time, a picture appeared in his mind. On a piece of sea, 100-foot-long purple dragon stood in the sky. Above its head, there was a huge thunder whirlpool, with countless purple lightnings beating in it. The powerful aura oppressed the purple dragon, which made it difficult to breathe. Transform into a dragon. The steps that every dragon must go through are to use the power of thunder and lightning to shed its snake body and form its 4 claws, and then it can become a dragon that travels in the world. Boom. At this time, the power in the thunder whirlpool exploded, and purple lightning quickly struck towards the purple dragon. The purple dragon was not afraid, and all kinds of methods appeared to resist the power of the thunder tribulation of heaven and earth. Swish swish swish. Just as they were about to survive the last thunderstorm of heaven and earth, storms arose on the sea again, countless attacks came from all directions, and hundreds of figures appeared carrying powerful power. Roar. How could the purple dragon, which had already consumed a lot, withstand these sudden attacks? A roar sounded, and the purple dragon's figure was crumbling under these attacks. Click. At the same time, the last thunderstorm from heaven and earth fell. In Zijiao's current state, it was absolutely impossible to block this blow. As if he knew that he was going to die, Zijiao's eyes were full of determination, and the essence and blood in his body began to burn, urging the last bit of power to lead these heaven and earth thunder tribulations towards the crowd. Rumble. The next second, a force that shocked the world erupted, and the screen instantly turned white. Suju did not see what happened next. If the guess is correct, the purple flood dragon was caught in the end. Although the essence and blood were burned out, the soul still existed, and was sacrificed and refined into the sword soul of the purple flood dragon sword. Since you are so sincere, I will give you this polar dragon crystal. Suju smiled slightly and threw the polar dragon crystal out without hesitation. The polar dragon crystal was instantly absorbed by the purple dragon sword. The reason why he was so decisive was because the mark just now was the life soul mark of the purple dragon. As long as with just a thought, Suju could make the remaining soul of the purple dragon completely dissipate between heaven and earth. If not, Suju would not have given the polar dragon crystal to the other party. Roar. After obtaining the polar dragon crystal, the purple dragon gave a light drink, his voice full of excitement and gratitude, and the purple dragon's shadow quickly disappeared into the sword. I wonder if this polar dragon crystal can turn the purple dragon into a dragon. If it succeeds, it will be equivalent to having a powerful bodyguard by my side. Suju thought, and began to study other treasures, and found that most of them could not be used by him, but there was one treasure that was very suitable for him now. The Shilling Pagoda, with 10 days inside and 1 day outside, was the most suitable for his cultivation. Now Suju does not lack cultivation resources, but what he lacks is time. As long as there is enough time for him to refine these cultivation resources, his strength will also increase rapidly. 10 times the training speed is not bad. Thinking about it, Suju took out a large amount of spirit stones. When he wanted to activate the spirit tower, he would definitely need spirit stones. Fortunately, Gu Kanghai said earlier that the spirit stones in his storage ring had all piled up into a small mountain. No shortage. Buzz. As the spirit stones were filled in, a force appeared on the Shilling Pagoda, and Suju entered the Shilling Pagoda with the thought. There is plenty of spiritual energy in the tower, and the time is different from the outside world, so practicing can be done with half the effort. Sitting down cross-legged, Suju took out the elixir and began to practice, while streams of spiritual energy surged towards his body. But Suju didn't notice that while he was practicing, rays of spiritual light appeared in the vegetable field, passing through the shilling tower and rushing toward his body. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 24. Suju was practicing for a period of time after that and did not release any more videos. After all, he is now considered a strong person in the eyes of others. If he posts a video every day, it would be too low of a position to avoid making people suspicious. Suju was practicing seriously, but big things happened to Qilian Xiao, Xiantian sect, and Shenyuan city. On the second day after Suju entered the Shilling Pagoda to practice, these three forces issued an order to the disciples within the sect. Everyone entered the world and paid attention to the ancient emperor. Of course, the most important thing is to observe the light and shadow released by the ancient emperor. At first, these disciples were confused and didn't know why the higher UPS would make this decision. However, the name Huanggu Emperor sounded very loud, so these disciples still followed it. After watching these lights and shadows, all the disciples were surprised, because these lights and shadows could actually help them practice. Disciples with high qualifications have broken through their shackles and achieved breakthroughs by observing light and shadow. Even some disciples with relatively low qualifications have gained some understanding and become more relaxed along the way of cultivation. At the same time, some brave disciples also began to leave messages under various lights. Others saw it and followed suit. In just a few days, there were tens of thousands of comments on each page, all expressing their admiration for Suju. A full month has passed like this, in the Shilling Tower. Buzz. As countless spiritual energy from heaven and earth surged towards Suju's body, the aura on Suju's body also began to surge. 1 month in the Shilling Pagoda is equivalent to about 300 days in the outside world. With a large amount of cultivation resources, Suju has reached the 9th level of foundation establishment. At this time, the spiritual energy in his body was rioting, and it was obvious that he was about to break through to the golden elixir stage. Once you reach the golden elixir, you have officially entered the path of cultivation. Not only can you fly with a sword, but your lifespan will also be greatly increased. Gather for me. Suju secretly shouted, the Tianjianju's mind flowed in his heart, and the spiritual energy of heaven and earth in his body quickly gathered into the danshan, gradually forming a pill. At the same time, the lights in the vegetable field points also quickly poured into the pills, making the formation of pills faster. Boom! I don't know how much time passed, but Suju's body was shaken, and the power in his body was released, forming a spiritual storm, and his realm was also successfully broken through at this moment. The golden elixir is ready. Suju took a deep breath, and after stabilizing her realm, she stopped practicing and looked at her golden elixir. There was a golden elixir floating in the danshan, as if it was a world of its own, with countless the spiritual energy of heaven and earth circulates on the pill, endlessly. Strange, why is there a purple light flashing on my golden elixir? Looking at his golden elixir carefully, Suju noticed something different. Although the purple light flashed by, he still felt it. But according to the records in Heavenly Sorju, purple light will not appear after the golden elixir is formed. Could it be that I am practicing wrongly? Forget it, as long as this purple light is not harmful to me. Suju thought for a while and said, even if he really practiced wrongly, there is nothing he can do about it. I have been practicing in the Shilling Pagoda for more than 300 days, which is equivalent to a month in the outside world, and it is time to go out. With the thought, Suju's figure disappeared from the same place. When he reappeared, he had returned to the vegetable field. Compared with a month ago, the outside world has not changed much. The only difference is that he has not been in the vegetable field for a month. Picking vegetables in the vegetable field, these vegetables look like they are about to become mature, and they grow very thick, some are already 1 meter tall. Once you break through to the golden elixir, you can fly with a sword. Let's try it first. Suju thought, took out the purple dragon sword, and used the method in Heavenly Swordju to move the technique. His figure also landed on the sword, and he immediately shot straight into the sky. Ha ha ha, I can finally fly. Flying in the sky, Suju couldn't help laughing. A month ago, he saw someone flying past with a sword in the sky, and then he realized that this was a world of immortals. At that time, he was envious of the legendary immortals. But a month later, he turned out to be an immortal who could fly with a sword. Although he was not very strong in this world, progress could still be seen. After traveling for a while, Suju returned to among Taoist temples. Unexpectedly, after coming to this world, I gave up my addiction to mobile phones. Suju smiled slightly and took out her mobile phone at the same time. Since she has broken through to the golden elixir stage, it is natural that she still has to do it. She will make a video to celebrate first and see if she can catch a big fish. Ding dong, Qi Lian's disciple Lu Fei is paying attention to you. Ding dong, Zhao Yuan, a disciple of Xiantian sect, is paying attention to you. Ding dong, Saint Yuan city disciple Zhou Hai is paying attention to you. But just when she turned on her phone, Suju found that her unread messages had become 999 plus. Looking at her number of fans, she found that she had reached more than 50,000. I go, what happened? Suju hurriedly clicked on the video with doubts and looked at the comment area. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 25. It's been a month, why hasn't Dottie released a new Light and Shadow? Maybe the great emperor is cultivating. Once such a strong person cultivates, it can take anywhere from 100 years to 100,000 years. I wonder if we can wait until that time. The people upstairs are a little too ambitious. We haven't fully understood the 4 light and shadows released by the emperor. Even if new lights and shadows are released, it won't be of much help to us. Don't bite off more than you can chew. The journey of cultivation is to proceed step by step. Now that the emperor doesn't release light and shadow, he probably doesn't want us to go astray. Looking at the news in the comment area, Suju soon understood what was going on. It turned out that the disciples of Qi Lian Xiao, Xiantian sect, and Shenyuan city were paying attention to him. I didn't expect to have so many fans, but the number of fans doesn't seem to have much effect. Suju was thinking about it when messages appeared again on her phone. Ding dong, since the host has reached the golden elixir stage, the like function, redemption function, and fusion function have been successfully enabled. Looking at this message, Suju hurriedly checked it, and it took a few minutes to figure out the functions of these 3 functions. The first is the like function, which is the same as those short video software on Earth. After watching the video, you can like it. 10,000 likes can be converted into 1 point. In addition to Suju's videos that can be liked, the comment area can also be liked, and Suju can also reward the 3 comments with the highest number of likes, which is a benefit for fans. Then there is the redemption function. Every 7 days, 3 items will be refreshed in the exchange mall. If you want to purchase these 3 items, you need enough points. At this time, 3 items appeared in the exchange mall. Low-level recommendation ticket, videos blessed by this item have a 0.1% chance of appearing on other users' homepages, 100 points. What a good thing. Looking at the item introduction, Suju's eyes lit up. Is the 0.1% chance low? Very low. But facing the huge base of users of Wanja, this chance is very objective. There are 3,000 small worlds in the entire Dingtian world. As long as the realm reaches the golden elixir stage, you can enter the 10,000 realms. How many monks above the golden elixir stage are there in these 3,000 small worlds? 10 billion? Hundreds of billions? Trillions? Or more? Even if there are only tens of billions, with a 0.1% probability, Suju's video will also appear on the homepage of 10 million people. If only half of them like Suju, there will be 5 million people, which is equivalent to 500 points. Purchasing this recommended ticket only costs 100 points, which is definitely a huge profit. This thing must be bought. Suju thought secretly, it's a pity that he doesn't have points now, he can only wait until he has points. Breaking Realm Pill, after taking it in any realm, you can break through a small realm, 100 points. The second item is also very abnormal. Suju is only in the golden elixir stage now, and the effect of this elixir cannot be exerted to its maximum. But if you reach the realm of the Great Emperor, or even the realm of the Little Lord, this pill is a treasure that can make everyone crazy. Breaking through a small realm may seem inconspicuous, but the key is that a strong person in any realm can break through by taking. If I buy this elixir, even if I don't use it, I can sell it to others and get many peerless treasures, Suju thought secretly. Alchemy Small Success Coupon, after use, it can bring your alchemy level to level 3, 100 points. The third item was not bad either. Suju had obtained many cultivation resources before, including many heavenly materials and earthly treasures. However, because he did not have enough knowledge, he did not recognize many heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Even if he knew them, he would only use them to make soup and drink them, completely unable to exert the power contained in the heavenly materials and earthly treasures. But if you become an alchemist, you can refine elixirs by yourself, and your realm will break through faster. Buy everything, but you have to find a way to earn some points. Fortunately, these items will be refreshed in 7 days, and he still has enough time to earn points. Then Suju started to check the third function, the fusion function. This function is very simple. Suju can refine the mobile phone into the body, which is equivalent to becoming his own magic weapon. Suju has reached the golden elixir stage. Even without a mobile phone, he can enter the world. It is just right for this function to appear now. This function is good. After it is refined into my body, I don't have to worry about my phone being damaged even if I fight in the future. Moreover, after refining, it can even have a 360-degree shooting effect without blind spots, which will make it easier for me to shoot videos and obtain materials in the future. Suju nodded. After refining, he only needs to move his mind to shoot directly, and only consumes a small amount of spiritual power in the process, which is harmless. After checking all the functions, Suju nodded with satisfaction. The stronger his golden finger is, the stronger he can become. Refine your phone first, and then think about how to earn points. Thinking about it, Suju sat down cross-legged, and a stream of spiritual power flowed to the phone. Is it integrated? Yes. As Suju was sure, the phone turned into a spiritual light and sank directly into Suju's body. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the Emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 26. Ding dong, the fusion was successful. In just a few seconds, a mechanical voice sounded in Suju's mind, and the mobile phone also appeared in his body. After feeling it for a while, there was no big change. He could browse what he wanted to see with a single movement of his mind. Ding dong, Qi Lian's disciple Zhu Gao likes your video. Ding dong, Shen Yuan City disciple Lucy Yuan likes your video. Ding dong. But then, frequent sounds continued to sound, and Suju hurriedly turned on the silent mode, and then it stopped a little. I didn't expect that someone would like my video so quickly. Suju thought about it and clicked on the video. She found that there was a small heart in the upper right corner of each video. It had been lit more than 30 times at this time, and it would increase every second. There were more than 1,000 in less than a minute. People like it? The rate of likes is not slow, but I still have too few fans. Every 10,000 likes will only give you 1 point. Even if all of his 50,000 fans like each of his videos, they will only get 20 points. Ding dong, the video you posted a daily day in the Ancient Emperor has been viewed 100 million times, and you will be rewarded with a low-level recommendation ticket. At this time, a mechanical voice sounded, and Suju's eyes lit up. She originally thought about how to increase her number of fans, but she didn't expect that the system would directly give her a reward. There are actually rewards for the number of views, and it has reached 100 million. How many times have these guys watched it? He only has 50,000 fans. On average, each of them has watched it 2,000 times. In other words, in this month, these guys have watched it dozens of times every day, and some even hundreds of times. This Suju was also a little surprised by the numbers. The stickiness of these fans was too strong. At the same time, Suju also opened the comment area and found that many people were leaving messages. What's the situation? Why can the light and shadow of the Ancient Emperor light up the little heart? There is obviously no light or shadow from other people. Could this be a function created by the Ancient Emperor himself? He is actually able to add functions to all realms by himself. The realm of the Ancient Emperor has at least reached the level of the Little Venerable, right? Fart, I am a little venerable, but I can't do it. This world is created by many great venerables. If you want to add functions to it, your strength must reach that of a great venerable. Oh my God, the Ancient Emperor is actually a powerful person? I always thought it was just the powerful emperor. The comment area quickly became lively. Everyone believed that Suju was a great venerable person, and their admiration for Suju became even more intense. Even Suju didn't expect that just the function automatically added to the phone could make these people dream about it. Hey, my comments can actually light up my heart. What is the use of my heart? It seems that the more careful people are, the higher the content of their comments will be. Wouldn't this be able to show up in front of the Ancient Emperor? Where are the disciples of Saint Yuan City? Quickly light up the careful mind of the city lord. This city lord will occupy the first place in the comments. Disciples of Xiantian sect, please don't let the people in the big world underestimate us and push me up. Another bunch of comments appeared, and the leaders of the three factions all appeared. They found that the higher the likes, the higher the comments. Everyone was excited and refused to let go of the opportunity to show their faces in front of Suju. For a time, the senior officials and disciples of the three major forces gathered to give likes, and even started to call on the sects with better relations to give likes in order to collect heads. This also increased Suju's number of video likes and fans a lot. These guys were so enthusiastic, of course I had to record a little video to reward them. Suju smiled slightly. It just so happened that he could also use low-level recommendation ticket to see the effect. Thinking about this, Suju moved and flew directly towards the mountain with his sword. At the same time, he also turned on the recording function. Recording in all directions without blind spots. Before long, Suju saw a blood fox in the foundation building stage below, hiding in the dark, waiting for prey. You are the one. Suju's mind moved, Yu Jian came to the ground, and at the same time put away the aura in his body, so as not to scare the blood fox away. The blood fox also noticed the sudden appearance of Suju, and felt that there was no strong aura on him. A cold light burst out from his eyes. Swish. The next second, the blood fox turned into a streak of blood and rushed towards Suju quickly. Its fangs and claws were instantly exposed, and it was in front of Suju. Looking at the attacking blood fox, Suju smiled slightly. When the distance between the two was only about 1 meter, he pointed a sword and a spiritual sword appeared instantly. In an instant, the heavenly sword erupted and came directly in front of the blood fox. The blood fox obviously did not expect that Suju had hidden his strength. Feeling the power of the heavenly sword, the murderous intent in his eyes instantly turned into panic, and at the same time he turned around and prepared to escape. Laugh. But it was too late to escape at this time. The heavenly sword instantly penetrated the blood fox's body. Ah! The blood fox let out a scream that sounded like a human and an animal, and slowly fell into a pool of blood with unwillingness in his eyes, killing him on the spot. Once it's done, just get some more materials. Thinking about it, Suju flew away with her sword again, took some video materials in the mountains and forests, and then started post-production. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 27. The mobile phone was refined by Suju, making post-production easier. It took Suju more than an hour to produce the video. It was a sunny afternoon, everything seemed so harmonious. Boom. But at this moment, a roar suddenly sounded, and the beasts in the entire forest began to flee in terror. In the distance, a nine-tailed blood fox with a height of 100 feet appeared in sight. The body of the nine-tailed blood fox was entangled with endless blood-colored light. Wherever it passed, no grass grew, and countless powerful ferocious beasts were killed. A thick mist of blood suddenly appeared in the forest, as if you could smell it through the screen. This made the nine-tailed blood fox become even more crazy, and began to kill wild beasts in the mountains and forests. Dark clouds appeared in the sky. It seemed that the nine-tailed blood fox's actions triggered heaven's punishment. At this time, the scene changed, and the back of a leisurely man suddenly appeared. The man smiled with a smile on his face. He seemed not to notice the powerful blood fox in front of him and continued to walk forward. At the same time, the sky that was originally filled with blood was gradually dispersed by a colorful stream of light. Roar! The nine-tailed blood fox seemed to have discovered the man, and immediately roared, and all the trees within a kilometer radius turned into nothingness. On the other hand, the man continued to walk forward as if nothing had happened. Brush! The man's actions angered the nine-tailed blood fox. With a movement, he came in front of the man and blocked his way. The man stopped and looked at the nine-tailed blood fox in front of him without any fear. He just said in a calm tone, "Get out." Rumble. Although the man's tone was calm, his voice resounded throughout the sky like thunder. At the same time, the dark clouds and thunder that had gathered in the sky retreated with this sound, and the infinite blood light collapsed on the spot. The entire sky was instantly occupied by colorful streams of light. Roar! Although the nine-tailed blood fox was not as strong as the man, it did not retreat. Instead, it roared and attacked directly towards the man. Looking at the nine-tailed blood fox that was coming to kill, the man shook his head and seemed to sigh. Also next seconds later, he saw that the nine-tailed blood fox had arrived. It only took a moment for its sharp claws to twist off the man's head. But at this moment, the man pointed his sword together and used a sword wrapped with infinite purple lightning. The heavenly sword appears. Laugh. A tearing sound followed, and the nine-tailed blood fox also stopped in the air, with a huge blood hole appearing in its chest. Ah! The scream sounded, and the nine-tailed blood fox fell straight to the ground, losing its life. The man didn't even look at it and continued to walk forward. At the same time, a voice also sounded. Kill one person in 10 steps, leave no trace behind in 1,000 miles. The video has finished playing. Not bad, not bad, the domineering spirit is coming to my face, this video should be able to attract a lot of fans. Suju nodded with satisfaction. He spent more than 2 hours making this video just for the material. Plus the post-production, it was definitely made with sincerity. Please name your work. Suju thought for a while and had an idea in her mind. After confirming the title, The Ancient Emperor Killed the Supreme Demonic Beast in an Instant, Suju didn't hesitate and clicked send directly. As for the viewing conditions, he didn't bother to set the viewing conditions. The main reason is that now he has no shortage of training resources. Ding dong, the video is about to be released. Do you want to use low-level recommendation votes? Yes. After Suju confirmed it, the video was sent successfully. With this video, he just wanted to see how powerful the low-level recommendation votes were and how many fans they could attract for themselves. After Suju released the video, many monks who were painting light and shadow in the world, they all saw Suju's video. The ancient emperor instantly killed the supreme monster? Really or not, this ancient emperor seems to be just a great emperor. Although the monsters that the emperor can kill instantly are not weak, they are not as good as the supreme monsters. This ancient emperor can't be the title dog, but I don't know what the realm of the supreme monster he killed instantly is. When many people saw the title of this video, they were filled with doubts, while powerful people were filled with disdain. In the eyes of these powerful men, he is just a great emperor, and the number of monsters he can kill is just that. But it is no surprise that many people clicked on the video to view it even though they were disdainful. At the same time, the three forces, Shenyuan City, Xiantian Sect, and Qilian Xiao, all fell into excitement after learning that the ancient emperor had released a new light and shadow. Oh my god, the emperor finally made some news. I've been waiting for a month. Looking at the title of this light and shadow, the emperor is trying to get us some useful information. I don't know what kind of monster it is. I'm so unlucky that I met the emperor. The Lord of Shenyuan City, Hao Tenglin, respectfully welcomes His Majesty the ancient emperor. For a while, people from the three factions also left comments one after another, and at the same time they clicked on the light and shadow to watch. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 28. Zhen Yuanfeng, the pinnacle little venerable master, is also the leader of the Holy Dragon sect in the Dingtian world. His overall strength is similar to that of Shenyuan City. Are you saying that in Shenyuan City, Hao Tenglin ordered all disciples to watch the light and shadow of an emperor in the world? In the main hall, Zhen Yuanfeng looked at a disciple below and asked with a frown. Reporting back to the sect leader, it was indeed the case. What they were looking at was a light and shadow named Emperor Huangwu. The subordinates didn't know exactly why the disciple replied. Humph, this Hao Tenglin must have some bad idea. Zhen Yuanfeng snorted coldly. He and Hao Tenglin were originally brothers from the same sect, but after they left school, they founded two forces. Now after so many years, their sect cities have become giants in the Dingtian world. But the two of them didn't get along in the sect at first. Now they have become bigger and stronger. On the surface, nothing happened, but secretly they are competing with each other. You go down first. Zhen Yuanfeng waved his hand, and the disciples below quickly left. The ancient emperor? I want to see what you, Hao Tenglin, are doing. Thinking about it, Zhen Yuanfeng's mind moved and he entered the world directly. He was about to find the ancient emperor, but the title in front of him attracted his attention. The ancient emperor instantly killed the supreme monster. Zhen Yuanfeng sneered. What a coincidence. The other party actually delivered it to his door. I want to see how far you, a mere great emperor, can go in killing the supreme monster beast. Thinking about it, Zhen Yuanfeng directly clicked on the light and shadow. At first, he was full of disdain, but when he saw the nine-tailed blood fox, Zhen Yuanfeng couldn't help being shocked. Among the fox clan, once the nine-tailed blood fox is reached, the number can be called a sky fox. And the blood fox itself is a powerful existence among the fox clan. There are definitely only a handful of blood foxes that can reach 9 tails. If monsters of this level are divided according to the realm of the human race, already comparable to the realm of the Great Venerable. I didn't expect it to be a supreme monster. If such a monster were born, the entire Dingtian world would suffer. But it shouldn't be possible to kill a monster of this level instantly, right? 30,000 years ago, a nine-tailed blood fox was born. Its power was extremely powerful. It is said that it was finally suppressed by several great masters. Now that another blood fox has appeared, Zheng Yuanfeng is naturally not afraid of what the ancient emperor can do. Suppression. With doubts, Zheng Yuanfeng continued to look behind. When he saw the nine-tailed blood fox exerting its power and the power to destroy the world and destroy the world, Zheng Yuanfeng secretly clicked his tongue. Under this kind of power, only the great lord, only those who have the ability to survive, a little venerable like him is just cannon fodder. The video continued to play, and Zheng Yuanfeng also sweated when he saw that the man in the video dared to confront the nine-tailed blood fox. Is he really just as simple as a powerful emperor? Why are you not afraid at all when facing the nine-tailed blood fox? Zheng Yuanfeng thought, and began to look forward to the follow-up plot. The nine-tailed blood fox blocked the road, and the man's word go shocked the sky. Even Zheng Yuanfeng, who watched the video, trembled in his heart, and a feeling of fear came from the bottom of his heart. Rising. The ancient emperor's strength has definitely reached the realm of the great venerable. Just a roar in the air made my soul tremble and fear arose in my heart. Zheng Yuanfeng swallowed his saliva. The disdain he had for the ancient emperor had disappeared. Some of it was just fear. At this moment, the nine-tailed blood fox became furious and killed the man directly. Zheng Yuanfeng's heart tightened and he became worried about the man. Although he was extremely nervous, the man in the video had a calm expression. Seeing that the nine-tailed blood fox was about to come to him, the man moved. It was a long sword made of spiritual energy. Purple thunder was entangled, and Zheng Yuanfeng seemed to be able to feel its powerful power across the screen. The long sword was slowly raised, and the surrounding space became distorted. Zheng Yuanfeng's eyes widened, and he looked nervously the scene. Laugh. The next second, the power on the long sword exploded, and the originally arrogant nine-tailed blood fox was pierced by the sword light in an instant, and fell to the ground unwillingly. Everything was very plain and simple, but just like this, Zheng Yuanfeng opened his mouth wide and his eyes were filled with shock. Dead, dead. Looking at the nine-tailed blood fox lying in a pool of blood, which was indeed lifeless, Zheng Yuanfeng was shocked. How is this possible? In addition to its powerful power, the most important thing about the nine-tailed blood fox is that it has 9 tails, which is equivalent to having 9 lives. He had never heard of anyone being able to kill the nine-tailed blood fox instantly, but there appeared in front of him. Could it be that this ancient emperor is a powerful heavenly lord? The heavenly lord has understood the great way of heaven and earth, and can create the world and control the will of heaven and earth with a wave of his hand. And the power of the 9 tails of the nine-tailed blood fox itself contains the great way of heaven and earth. The sword just now seemed simple and unpretentious, but in fact it cut off the power of the 9 tails and used the power of heaven to fight against heaven. This must be the case. This ancient emperor is definitely a heavenly lord. Zheng Yuanfeng thought, how could he kill the 9-tailed blood fox instantly if he wasn't the lord of heaven? Just as he was thinking about it, the video had reached the end, and a heroic voice sounded. Kill one person in 10 steps, leave no trace behind in 1,000 miles. When the words fell, the light and shadow also ended. But Zheng Yuanfeng had already fallen into a sluggish state. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 29. God, Heavenly Lord, this ancient emperor is definitely Heavenly Lord. More than 10 minutes had passed before Zheng Yuanfeng came back to his senses. But the words kill one in 10 steps, leave no trace in 1,000 miles were still echoing in his mind. These words made him feel the domineering power of the ancient emperor. It seemed that anyone who blocks the opponent will be killed by the opponent. He also feels free and unrestrained, wielding the sword to the end of the world, and acting as he pleases. Coupled with the ancient emperor's method of killing the nine-tailed blood fox, he can be sure that the opponent is definitely the Lord Tian. It seems that the senior has not been born for many years. This ancient emperor should be the name of the other party when he was in the realm of the emperor. Even I have never heard of it. Zhen Yuanfeng thought secretly. Since he has never heard of it, it's not that the name of the ancient emperor is not resounding, but that he himself is short-sighted. This light and shadow seems a little different from the others. Looking at the light and shadow again, he found that the little heart in the upper right corner was growing rapidly. He also noticed the little heart just now. He didn't pay attention to it at first, but it has only been so long, and it has grown from more than 300,000 to more than 1 million. And this number is still growing rapidly. Out of curiosity, Zhen Yuanfeng clicked on the comment area to check it out. No wonder Emperor Huang's light and shadow are different from those of others. It turns out to be a function he added himself. Seeing the explanation in the comment area, Zhen Yuanfeng showed a look of surprise, and was even more sure that the other party was a powerful Tianzun. Thinking about it, Zhen Yuanfeng also lit up his heart. At the same time, he looked at the comment area again and found that there were many more. Old acquaintance. Master Qian, I have met my senior. After observing my senior's light and shadow, my mood has improved, and my swordsmanship that I have not understood for a long time has also improved. If my senior needs it, I will do my best. Hao Tenglin, Jr., welcome senior. The disciples of Shenyuan City, have all improved with the guidance of seniors. In the future, Shenyuan City is willing to listen to seniors. Venerable Huanglu, thank you senior for your guidance. I present you a pair of red ling beads. Senior, please don't dislike it. Seeing many acquaintances leaving messages in the comment area, Zhen Yuanfeng also took a deep breath. This was a good opportunity to curry favor with the boss, and he couldn't miss it. The junior leader of the Holy Dragon sect, Zhen Yuanfeng, pays homage to Senior Huanggu. Senior's light and shadow are of great benefit to cultivation. It is truly a blessing to our Dingtian world. This junior is willing to offer the Holy Dragon Spirit Crystal, and I hope Senior will accept it. After sending this message, Zhen Yuanfeng nodded with satisfaction. Although the Holy Dragon Spirit Crystal is precious, their Holy Dragon sect has only had 3 of them for tens of thousands of years, but if they can get involved with the Heavenly Lord, they will definitely not lose. But in the next second, Zhen Yuanfeng frowned, because he discovered that less than 3 seconds had passed, and his comments had disappeared. And those comments in the front row were careful of the large number. No wonder Hao Tenglin asked all the disciples in Shenyuan City to observe the light and shadow of the ancient emperor. It turned out that in addition to observing the light and shadow practice, he also wanted to enlighten his careful mind and get front row comments so that his seniors could see it. Zhen Yuanfeng showed a look of surprise, and then his mind moved and his figure disappeared. Dong dong dong. The next second, the bell in the Holy Dragon sect rang 9 times in succession, and tens of thousands of Holy Dragon sect disciples were alarmed. What happened? Who rang the Holy Dragon bell? The bell rings 9 times. Doesn't this mean that our Holy Dragon sect is at a critical stage? Is there a powerful enemy coming? Don't be stunned, go and have a look. I originally wanted to continue observing the light and shadow of the ancient emperor, but I am about to break through. Now it seems I can only wait a while. For a time, the entire Holy Dragon sect, from the retreating elders to the gatekeeper disciples, all gathered in the sect square, with more than 30,000 people. Sect master, what happened? Seeing that the people were almost here, the great elder asked. Zhen Yuanfeng glanced at the tens of thousands of disciples below, and then said. Everyone listens to the order, and now all enters the world, and then observes the light and shadow of the ancient emperor. After a while, this sect leader will post a message, and everyone must give me a like, and push the sect leader's comment up, so that the senior emperor, the ancient emperor, can see it, Zhen Yuanfeng said seriously. After hearing this, a few disciples felt confused, but most of them were shocked. The ancient emperor? Could it be the ancient emperor who killed the nine-tailed blood fox? I was just looking at his light and shadow. I thought he was just a powerful emperor, but I didn't expect that even the sect master would call him senior. The sect master was a peak junior venerable, so wouldn't the ancient emperor be a great venerable? The sect leader rings the holy dragon sect 9 times, just for the sake of the ancient emperor? What is the origin of the other party? What are you still doing? Let's enter the world. Those guys who just saw Saint Yuan City were criticized for their comments. Our holy dragon sect cannot fall behind. Zhen Yuanfeng also heard the discussion between the disciples, and there were some differences in his mind. He thought that the disciples in the sect didn't know, but he didn't expect that they were already observing the light and shadow of the ancient emperor. However, he was still very satisfied with the attitude of the disciples. He did not hesitate and followed into Wanja and left another comment. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 30. Soon Zhen Yuanfeng posted another comment with the same content as before. But this time, with the likes from the disciples of the sect, his comments were not swallowed up, but gradually ranked in the front row. Who else hasn't liked it? Others can ignore it, but they must catch up with Saint Yuan City for me. Although his comments are in the front row, there is still a difference of more than 10,000 compared to Hao Tenglin, which naturally makes Zhen Yuanfeng feel unhappy. He can't be compared to anyone else, but he must crush Shen Yuan City. Sect Master, the number of disciples between us and Shen Yuan City is not much different. Now all the disciples in the sect have given likes. The reason why Shen Yuan City can far surpass us by more than 10,000 is because of the likes from other passers-by. The Great Elder said. Zhen Yuanfeng frowned. What the Great Elder said is correct. Everyone in Wanja only has one account, so they can only like it once. Hao Tenglin's comment was posted long before he did. It was liked right from the beginning, and many passers-by would definitely give him likes as well. No, we must crush Saint Yuan City. Zhen Yuanfeng gritted his teeth. He can lose to anyone, but he must not lose to Hao Tenglin. Great Elder, please immediately contact the sect we have established and ask them to give us a thumbs up. If necessary, you can give us some benefits, Zhen Yuanfeng said. Don't worry, sect master, I'll do it right away. The Great Elder nodded. In other matters, the people of the Holy Dragon sect are very sensible. But when it comes to the Holy Yuan City, they are very crazy. After all, the two forces have been fighting openly and secretly for tens of thousands of years. Up to the sect leader, down to the disciples, they all want to compete with each other. Hao Tenglin, this time our Holy Dragon sect will stand on your head. Zhen Yuanfeng narrowed his eyes and snorted coldly. If Suju knew about it, I'm afraid he would be surprised. Damn it, the like function has only been out for a day, did people start buying likes so soon? Zhen Yuanfeng is also a genius. But even after knowing it, Suju was more happy. Because the other party's method of buying likes was actually helping him promote, increasing the number of likes and views. Although the effect was not as good as recommendations, it was definitely not bad. He didn't wait long, the Great Elder of the Holy Dragon sect is back. Sect Master, I contacted other sects myself, and they promised to give us likes, but they also have requirements, the Great Elder said. Any request? As long as you don't want the Holy Dragon Spirit Crystal, everything else is easy, Zhen Yuanfeng asked. Their requirements are the same as ours, and we hope that the disciples of our sect can give them likes, that is, mutual praise. Zhen Yuanfeng was stunned. He didn't expect such a request. No problem, as long as we can ride on the head of Shen Yuan City, we will praise each other. Zhen Yuanfeng didn't hesitate and agreed directly. They just liked each other and they didn't lose anything. Soon several sects and the Holy Dragon sect began to like each other one after another. By the end of the night, the likes ranking in the comment area had also reached one stage. Li Siyuan, 690,000 likes. Gu Kanghai, 670,000 likes. Qi Yanzhenren, 480,000 likes. Venerable Zhouji, 430,000 likes. Zhen Yuanfeng, 370,000 likes. Hao Tenglin, 360,000 likes. Luying Emperor 320,000 likes. Looking at this ranking, Zhen Yuanfeng smiled. Great Elder, please continue to contact other sects for me, and you must not give Hao Tenglin a chance to stand up. The Great Elder nodded and went to contact other sects. In Shenyuan City, Hao Tenglin's face was gloomy. Father, all the sects that can be contacted have been contacted. There is really no one who can give us a thumbs up, Hao Fei said. Zhen Yuanfeng, get out of here, isn't it just a thumbs up? Do you have to suppress us? Hao Tenglin gritted his teeth. This junior brother of his is really ruthless. Father, I think we can just let it go now. This ranking is of no use anyway. Our purpose is just to let Senior Huanggu see our sincerity. If we owe others favors for this, it will be more than worth the gain, Hao Fei said. Hao Tenglin thought for a long time and felt that what his son said made sense. If there were rewards in the likes ranking, he would also find ways to compete for them. You kid has finally grown up for once. Hao Tenglin glanced at Hao Fei appreciatively. It seems that after what happened before, the other party has become mature in thinking about things. Hao Fei also smiled. This was one of the few times when his father praised him. And Suju also saw the like ranking. The number of likes of these guys has soared too fast, especially Zhen Yuanfeng, who only had tens of thousands before, but now has 370,000, more than Hao Tenglin. Suju frowned. Could it be that these sects have learned to praise each other? Forget it for now. Less than a day has passed, and the number of likes on my video has already reached 14 million. Looking at the number of likes on her video, Suju smiled. She didn't expect that the effect of low-level recommendation tickets was so powerful. 14 million likes can be exchanged for 1,400 points. And this low-level recommendation ticket only you need 100 points, it's an absolute blood earner. If you have enough points, you can buy things in the redemption mall. Thinking about it, Suju directly clicked on redeem points, and a prompt sounded in Suju's mind.